All right, hey, ladies and gentlemen. So at this point, we are going to go over this polarity lab. Notice we have our three liquids, our four solids, and then our pennies and our rubber band for our different activity. So this is a three-part lab. All we're doing is just observing the different interactions between water and oil as we place drops of both liquids on these separate solids. And then with alcohol, we'll be comparing this as well when we get to the pennies. All right. So for the most part, our goal is to see how oil and water interact with other materials at the bulk level, and then we're going to use a virtual lab later to see at the molecular level what's really going on with all of these interactions. Okay, so we are wearing our goggles. We have some paper towels to make sure we can clean up, and let's assume everything is dangerous. All right, so in this situation, we already have our items separated just like this. I hope you guys set it up the same way. Let's be neat. So I'm going to go ahead and start by placing drops of water. And you do want to see if the liquids are absorbed, what colors they, if any colors are changing, and just try to compare how the two liquids interact with the same solid. So we placed water and salt, and now we're placing oil and salt. And you just have to look very closely to make sure what's going on. I won't describe this, but you should. So anyways, you should be doing the same for all of these four items here and try to make these observations. Now for part two, okay, we are going to get a pencil. In this case, I have a lead pencil, and all we're going to do is just on a separate sheet of paper, we're going to draw a blob or two, and we want to erase with the end of the eraser and see what happens. And then you're going to tie a rubber band to your pencil. Make sure it has a firm grip. It's neatly tied, strongly tied, and then you just go out and just start rubbing the smudge with the rubber band and just observe what happens. Now for the last part, for the actual lab itself, we are going to be placing as many drops as we can onto these pennies. Let's make sure they're all faced up. And we just keep placing drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you're going to keep placing drops until the water or your liquid rolls over the top of your penny. So we'll go over this in detail. Well, your teacher should go over this in detail with you. So in this situation, we're doing this with water, do that with oil, and then alcohol at the end. After you're done with that, go ahead and clean up all of these items, and proceed to part 5. And let's go ahead and change this to part 6. Okay. So in part 5, you're just doing a little bit of research and gathering information on these items that'll help you understand what's going on with these interactions below. So now we have the molecules themselves in part 6. And in part 6, we're just trying to determine if something is polar or non-polar, and you're just trying to explain why. Double check with your teacher for these responses. Good luck.